Okay, so Tenchi Nage is going to follow everything exactly of Ago Ate as far as the throwing architecture goes. Okay, so you're not going to do this stuff. Okay, like my kids don't even know how to take that shit. Like, pretend you're gonna bend backwards for me, and then I throw you. Okay? You're not gonna do that. Okay. Some of the things that we pointed out is, remember, they have to spinally displace. And the back break fall has to be going forward. I don't push him. I spiral rotate him into the throw. So you have to pay attention to all the ways that you stop their forward progress. And there's many of them, as I watched all of you, you and Kathy do the technique. So obviously we have the one with the hand going this way. Like, he can't go forward if you're making his hand go backwards. You just can't, okay? But the other one is this one. You see, it's kind of into his shoulder. Okay, it can't be in his shoulder, and he can't make it in his shoulder. That's what also is key. So if I push into his shoulder, he could turn, and again, no, my uke cannot be allowed to turn. Okay, there's only two reasons why the uke turn. I turn them, and then they're not having forward progress, or the uke did not, per prescription, do the forward progress. Okay, there's the only two ways. Taking that out, if for whatever weird reason my attacker was so athletic, there are those people out there, that even though I got their center and I'm turning them, or I'm spiral rotating them, and they can, like a cat, turn and their center, you lost the technique. You would abandon that technique, not force that technique. Okay. Very much like in Ikkyo, I said, if for whatever reason the uke's shoulder turned back towards me, then Ikkyo opening is done. You don't keep trying for it. Okay. All right. So what is missing here is another one of those tactical insights from fighting. You are in this technique moving from wrist control through the elbow to spinal control, just like you did on the Ago Ate. You're looking for the spinal control. And this is something that is always present in a lot of the Aikido techniques, but again, people don't see it, is you're learning how to go from the grip to the head. We do this a lot in Aikido. So one of the most obvious examples that I talked about recently is Bernath was trying to take my footwork here, but lacked the understanding, the strategic understanding of how to move from the grip to the head, but also lacked the Aiki, so he couldn't do anything about it. So he's on the grip, and then he's trying to do the grip again to make him go. And that just doesn't work, because you'll undo every advantage that you tried to get originally as you go through that motion. So as I go here, you get more disturbance, but as you start to go through, everything goes right back to where now you can't do it, okay? You have to learn to bypass the grip, and what you're doing here is passing his head to your arm. Your arm is adhering and doing the sensei yield on the head, and then you find the technique. In Tenchi Nage, that's what you do, but on the inside. So this, what he's doing here, I pass it to here on, that's what I want, okay? And now his grip is irrelevant. He can let go, it doesn't matter. That's the whole point. I don't need your grip. I don't want your grip anymore. And the reason why that's a point is if I have a weapon and he grabs it, you're gonna I can't use my weapon, you see? And I want to make his grip ineffective. So I go here and I make the grip ineffective, okay? That's what you're trying to do. So, very similarly, as in Ago Ate, it's just a little more two-dimensionally looking, but not really in terms of functioning. When you touch the chin, that is what you're doing here. Well, that's exactly what you're doing. Instead of touching his chin, you're bringing him to here. And that's the technique, okay? So, some key things. Don't stop him. Prescribe him to come forward. Don't pull him backwards. And don't try to shove his shoulders here. See, we're stuck here, okay? And so this is where the strong Nage pushes through, but he would just walk out of it. So we'll come this way. Here he's driving, here I'm driving, and if I push through, he'll be able to move his base back under as he goes. That's all I got, okay? Or at that, right here at that stalemate, he can turn on you, you see? And then you're doing, that's not the technique, you lost the technique, okay? I saw the solution you came up with, which is to bring him to your shoulder. You're here on your shoulder, okay? But again, that is just giving you a shorter lever, so it feels more powerful, where he doesn't have the distal end advantage over my grip. It's still a contestation. If you did come to the shoulder, you'd still have to do the same yield anyways, okay, to make that work. But Tenchi Nage is to here on the arm, on the inner arm. So we're gonna do that drill without the throw. Just that part. We will film it. Be behind. Yield, touch, circle. Okay? That entry is like, we're just going to work. If Virginia's here, she's got a hurt knee, so we're not going to throw her. But if you can do that, then you understand the Tenchi Nage. So we're going to play with that for a little bit, and then we'll come back. But here, absorb, pass. There's the pass. Then the foot goes out, and that's the end of the drill.
Hi.
Boom, boom. Don't bring this way because I didn't enter. So, end of drill. Okay? Try. So again, plot her head in space, okay? So her head is still coming this way in the direction of the spinal displacement. It's still coming this way, you see? Now don't make it go back the other way. Here, it's still going forward, you see? Now I'll show you what, you did that, okay? So when I go, whoo, you see how she came forward, okay? You have to stop acting, and that includes protecting. So don't protect your knee, you'll feel the energy going forward, you see that? Don't pin your foot, forward, forward. No, you're pinning your foot. I just threw you that way, do you remember? Okay, so why are you stopping your foot right now? This is you. You feel that? Okay? This is me. You see? So I'd like to make this point for him. We're here. There's no reason to pin your foot. Your head keeps moving forward. Yes. You see?
Yes.
Boom. Try it again. Keep your grip. You bend it again. So, I want you to understand. Did you feel when I chucked you that way?
Yes.
I could throw you off the mat with the first movement.
Yes.
Could you take that today?
No.
Okay, so the energy's going this way. Okay? Don't pin your foot so you can go backwards. Because I'm never going to throw you backwards. Okay? Here it is here. This way. Do you see?
Hi.
Feel it. We're not going this way. This way. Yes. 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 Okay? So now we go back to him. Contact. We'll use this line here. The north-south line. Boom. Your head will still go back. Go forward. Okay? Don't make her head go back. Don't make her head go back. Okay? Try it again. The next thing to notice is how the yielding is happening. The yielding is not just open, he hits it. That's not what's happening, okay? You have this contestation here. You need your elbow check, and this pushes him forward. It's not me getting out of the way and he falls forward. Boom. You want that potential. I'm never going to let him go that fast, but there's a positive side of the circle that I am on. The same thing on this other hand. Okay? It's not that I get out of the way and he hits it. As you saw with Virginia, it throws. do not need the elbow to do this. You're on the positive side right there. Here's where we are. Okay? Then I'm on, stay there. This side, driving. So that is the pass. It's not me getting out of the way and he hits my forearm. I am passing him to my right side. This way. He's going to end up here. Not here, not here, not there. It's going to end up right here. So I pass him, then I bring him to it. Pass him, then bring him to it. Outward spiral. Inward spiral. Then don't contest. Okay. Now, like all of the back break fall, all I need is that little tilt with energy going forward. That's all. You don't need this, and you definitely don't want that. You just need that little tilt with inertia still going forward. Then you enter on the X pattern. So when you enter on the X pattern, it's this way, and your arm has to go that way. What is key, however, is that they have to work in conjunction with each other. So I'm not trying to throw him this way. My arm is still doing the same adhesion, which means it's staying up with his head, not trying to shove his head down. And his head is only going to descend at a rate and at a radius in relation to his center going up and forward. Okay? So you can get here, and then you're like, that's the wrong rate and radius. Okay? Or you can also be very late. That's the wrong radius too. So my arm follows the inward spiral as the head is in the inward spiral. I don't force it, but I don't get gapped by it either. Okay? And then the technique is effortless. I don't shove him down. I know my arm is going down, but it's because his head went down. I'm not shoving his head down. Okay? So again, from the back. Effortless. Okay? And again, why is it effortless? Because I'm not pulling on the extremities of the body. I'm using the initial inertia to do the throw. I'm not trying to pull someone, bend them over, choreograph them to do the technique. Okay? If you're doing the Kino Nagare one, then you do have to have this arm come up, because this runs out and you can't make it go behind you. So you do have to do the waiter's hand so that you can stay positive on that. But guess what? Once you get to the throw, it has to now go to the other shape and into it. So you can't go here like that. You have to open up the technique for an open, then you have the technique, okay? We do Kido Nagara and every once in a while, but we generally just stick with the regular versions, okay? They're not something fancy for me like they are for Kishimaru. Don't get trapped in heaven and earth, because you can smell the ego tripartite mind. It's such a simpleton, two-dimensional, obvious, right? Heaven up, earth down. Do you know? Just like Kokyu's breath and ki tissues, all this bullshit. Heaven is not. It's not up. It's not a fucking place. Okay? That's really stupid. Heaven is a contrast to the earth, which is a contrast to heaven. So it doesn't mean verticality. And then I also know that my cross has to spirally rotate. So there's no way it's in the 2 dimensions of straight up and straight down. That's not gonna work, okay? I also know that I have only 2 spirals, so I can't be doing this kind of stuff. That is not anything, okay? Heaven is associated with the inward spiral, and earth is associated with the outward spiral, just like fire and water is, okay? What heaven and earth are signifying is very similar to yin and yang, or very similar to fire and water. It's the completion of this system. It has both sides of the spectrum of possibilities. That's what you're doing. And again, what is important is what's happening in the middle, not at the extremities. So more reason not to try to move your hands, stay at the grab level, and try to pull their extremities, the arm and the head, okay? Work with what's in the center. What's in the center is invisible, is intangible, but real. So the inertia is, I can't touch it, but I can feel it, okay? That is the center of heaven and earth there in this stroke. Also, the ukes do different things with their hands. So if you see my hand go here, it's because in the break fall that he's taking, for me to keep my hand where it was, would have pulled on his shoulder, okay? So if he is going back, you'll see my hand go forward, because you won't ever see me pull this thing out, okay? So the hand is gonna go forward as he's throwing, but when you take it all out, the uke self-preserves and lets go of the grip. But if they don't, it's to say, let's say he's going back, not into the fall. Just do the artificially simulate. You don't get pulled, so you don't pull this, but you also don't make yourself pullable by kind of just simulate the fall and keep my grip, or keep your grip to try to pull me, okay? So I don't try to go like that. And as he falls, I also don't help him up or help him from falling. I don't do that. But I also don't make myself pullable, so he pulls me down. And I'm like that. I don't do that either, okay? So the first thing you do is I don't pull on it, and I don't resist it. I go with it. So as he's falling, I go with it, and I'll have him try to grab me, and I come out because at the completion of the outward spiral is the inward spiral. So as he takes the fall, you're just out that grip. So sometimes you'll see that as this hand goes this way, and then it comes back on me, so that it comes out the opening of the grip. Okay, but you're not seeing me pull on the shoulder, or force any contestation at the grip, even if you see my hand go forward. It's very similar to my hand does go forward and down in the inward spiral, but it's not shoving him, it's staying with him, okay? It's following him. It's not pushing him, okay?